How you doing, Dylan? Sorry about the no video for the right after that. I'm having a hard time with the internet here. Long story short, I'm gonna make a quick video. It's gonna recap a little bit about what we did, but what we talked about the last thing we saw each other were these triads and being able to visualize what a C looks like. Now, when we read on notation, we're going to have the staff. The top one, if we don't put any markings on it, it's just a staff or a stave. When we put another staff right below it, so one has 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another one, there's a little gap. In between that gap, in between the top stave and the bottom stave, when we tie them together and they become the grand stave, what we do is we see that the lower notes kind of work on the lower notes, and then they come up to the higher staff, and then we name them different notes. What happens over a period of time is we recognize where the physical notes are. The whole note, the half note that has a little bar off of it, the half note that it's all filled in, the half note that has a little quaver off the side for an 8th note, and then the half note that has a little double quaver for a 16th note. And when we read those in the fashion up and down. So if a bunch of notes are stacked on top of each other, that's a chord. And if a bunch of notes are on that grand staff and they get read from left or right, and it goes, you know, like C, D, E, F, G, and each individual note is on a line and it goes that way as if it's going through a reel, it would sound like, right? So the music you're reading from your book this week that we're going to review when you come back basically has the functionality of looking at the measure, reading it as slow as you possibly can, and when you're playing, not really looking at your fingies, but actually looking at the book and trying to associate the notes that you've already known how to play. C with the C major, lowest string. D with the D minor, putting our second finger on the second fret, and then playing the D minor. Also the E, open E. We also have an E here at the 4th fret on the C string, but I don't so much want to play that one right now because I want to teach a particular type of do, re, mi, fa, sol, incorporating the open notes. I could have gone, but that's a stretch. So, long story short, we're going to be playing the F, and then the G, and then the A, and then the B, diminished, and back to the C. All those notes and chords you know. If not, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished. Notice how I use my 3rd finger there? You could use your 2nd finger or 3rd finger. It doesn't matter there because you're going to be doing it. 2nd finger is going to make more sense when you start doing scales, but you could use your 3rd if you know you're going directly to there. So what we're going to be doing is influencing those measures you're going to be reading in the book this week that I told you about, and we're going to be playing full chord structures. And this next week, we're going to write a song together, and we're just going to choose some random chords and show how music can be moved around. You can have a song which is a C major to an F major to an A minor to a G major. And if we keep repeating that with the C to the F to the A minor to the G, it sets a standard. But watch what happens when I play the A and the F backwards. It changes the beat. What happens if I add a E minor and then a D minor, F major, A minor, B diminished, back to the 1 and the C. We could use the chord structures to move ourselves. There's only 3 majors and then 3 minors inside of our major scale, and then 1 diminished. So now that we have a basic understanding of what kind of chords are with our fingers, all we're going to do is practice reading that on a sheet of paper, putting that up here with our brain and going, okay, I can do both of those at the same time. Great job today thinking about inversions. Inversions, we're basically having C, D, E, F, G. Rather than having our 1, 3, 5 with the C on the lowest note, we could take the C and put it way up top. So instead of having, we could have, which is a type of C major chord. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Sorry about the late video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Aloha.